So I want to answer some questions I'm getting about the TikTok ban. There's been this question about what's going to happen with this, and of course we've all been waiting on the Supreme Court ruling. So the Supreme Court has just ruled that it is within Congress's power to ban an app for national security concerns, and that this ban was not basically a discrimination based on the First Amendment, that this was a decision that was made for non-content-based reasons. So in other words, the argument had been that by banning this particular app the way they did, that what the Congress was really doing was trying to hit back at an app for its anti-government speech or for things that people were posting. The justices didn't buy that argument and didn't find that compelling, believed that this is within Congress's powers to direct national security interests and to deal with that. So if you've been on TikTok, if you've been following our TikTok, if you've been looking at your own TikTok feed, you may have noticed that it went dark on Sunday for a little bit and then came back saying President Trump, who wasn't president at the time, had fixed it. So the basic question that I've been hearing a lot is, how can President Trump fix something when he's not president? That's number one. And number two, how can this work this way when the actual bill says that it has to go dark? What can President Trump do to change that if Congress has already passed a law and President Biden signed it when he was president? The short answer here is that the law itself, the statute, provided a 90-day window that's available to the president to suspend shutting down the app. But the law said that was only the case if and when there was an agreement to sell the app. So it's questionable about whether the President Trump I'm saying now, can exercise any power to keep it open. As a more practical matter, the Constitution says that the president is our chief executive. So if you think of this like a big corporation, there might be a board of directors who votes on something, but then they tell the CEO, I want you to go carry out the orders we've given you. That's really what the president's job is, to see that the laws are faithfully executed. That's the language in the Constitution. So the president has pretty broad power to enforce or not enforce the law, or at least, I could put it a different way, he'll get away with it a lot of the time. So whether he is actually following the law is one question, and then a different one is whether he can sort of get away with it. Right now, TikTok is probably breaking the law by being up. But whether the government's going to prosecute them or not is a different question, and whether the president's going to use his prosecutorial powers. So that's the question that we're all waiting to see play out. At this point, we're in a little bit of a legal no man's land or a legal gray area, and we're going to have to wait and see how this all plays out and whether the president requires the owner of TikTok, that's ByteDance, to divest themselves of interest, or whether there are other things they can do to assure him and see if he can get something through Congress to create a legislative fix. That's it for now on TikTok.